Five Gaming Things is a mature-rated podcast. The listener discretion is advised.
Alright, ready, Necro?
Yep.
Alright, so this week on Five Gaming Things.
Toy Chest and WoW. Nintendo pays royalties on the 3DS. Ghostcrawler joins Riot. SimCity gets an offline mode. And will you buy a Steam box?
Oh, some more on Five Gaming Things.
Music bio.
Alright, so the music bio this week is by the band called Cheap Dinosaurs. They have a new release called Triangle Trash. And the bio is Cheap Dinosaurs is the Philadelphia chip music supergroup featuring Dino Lanetti, Animal Style, Chipocrit, Bucky, and Anova. The band has been performing in and around Philly since 2008. And that is the music bio, and this, I know it's early in the year, but this one might be the album of the year. Already, because it's really fucking good. I was very surprised by it, but yeah, that's music bio. Yay.
Yay!
right, so welcome to 5 Gaming Things, the podcast. That's about 5 video game topics. I'm your host, BGO, aka the Big Game Over, and with me as always is Janelle. Just kidding, it's Necro.
Hi,
He's filling in for Jan, because Jan's sick.
I'm Jan today, because she's dying.
Yeah, she's literally dying of some death flu or something. But, yeah. And our guest this week is Mac, JN. Yes,
What's up?
right?
Yes, close enough.
And you're not doing any shows right now, are you?
Yeah, I've got the /4 podcast. Me and E. Adams and Riku and Siler and Cassie, and we never record. But yeah,
Right. Good times. But yeah, all right. So show news. Jan's sick. That's show news. But also, and Necro's going to be, because Jan's got like other shit going on too, so Necro will be filling in when needed, whenever Jan's, I don't know, on the rag or whatever the fuck. But
come on now.
no, I mean she's
No
got
need for that.
she's got some legitimate things going on so we might need a backup, and Necro's stepped in. So
That was nice of you, Necro.
Yeah.
weird. And I'm sure he can also still talk about dildos and stuff and fill in on that part too, right?
Yes, that's true.
I mean, I could. Will I? Maybe.
All right.
You just need to have Riku on one time when Necro's guest hosting. Then they can really like explain stuff to you.
I don't, there's a certain level of not knowing that I'm kind of comfortable with.
I would say, yeah, that is your right way to look at it.
Right.
I listened to /2. He had the Outcasted guys on. I know more than I want to know.
That was a good show. All right. So other show news. We got an email here from Daniel again, who's always emailing the show. What up, Daniel? He says BG exclamation point, which I think he meant BGO, but
Nope, just a big beach.
right. And Jan and random guest. What is up, crew? It's Daniel again. Since I seem to be the only person who emails the show as of late, you guys should totally do a game giveaway to me. Xbox 360 preferable. Also, it never ceases to amuse me the sound of somebody in particular's lighter striking. Oh, yes, me. And I'm not particularly interesting or anything, but it's awesome listening to people of the same breed? ? We are the all-seeing, all-knowing freaks of Earth. Bye. Okay. And he says, P.S. 2000 for E3. Damn it, I wish your show was listened to by some famous person or something to get your name out there. Good luck, and keep being cool. So
I'm convinced that Daniel is actually BGO, just mailing an email because nobody else emails him. I'm
not.
convinced of this because there's no way.
it's not. It legitimately isn't me.
I don't believe you.
Plus, if it was me, I would have been able to read that email a lot smoother.
I don't know. Maybe you're just a really good actor.
Right.
We just don't know it.
I did take some drama back in high school, like a semester.
So did I.
Awesome.
But I was fulfilling the stereotype, though.
Right.
Before I knew I had to.
Good lord. But, yeah, Daniel, all we have are Steam games. We don't really do the 360 thing. Unless Jan's got something, but I don't think she does. But,
Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah.
She's got a cold.
Yeah,
She can give him that. She can, like, spit into a rag or something.
right.
Sneeze in an envelope. Mail it to
Yeah.
you.
That's kind
Look.
of gross. But, yeah, alright, that's all the show news. So, excuse me. Let's get into this.
What shit did you do this week? What shit did you do this week?
That seemed like that went longer than it should have, but...
There's Jan.
Yeah.
There's Jan for the week.
Right.
About right.
So, who wants to go first? I'll go first. I guess.
Go for it.
Let's see. This week, doing the Hearthstone. New patch came out today. Played that a little bit. Beef stew still awesome, but unfortunately everybody's gotten used to it. So the meta game or whatever the fuck's changing. So while it's still an amazing deck and it still works, it's just that everybody is now building decks to beat it. So. So while it was great while it lasted, but now everybody's fucking assholes.
Master removal is one of the big things I miss in Hearthstone. I'd kill a man for a Wrath of God in that game.
The what?
There's a magic card, famous one called Wrath of God. It's 3, I believe it's 3 and 2 white. It wipes all creatures off the board.
I think the only Hearthstone card like that is Twisting Nether.
Yeah, the Warlock one.
Yeah, but it's all class-specific crap. You can't just...
Oh, right, a neutral AoE. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what people do now is they have that wild Pyromancer, and then they'll just play a spell that fucks over your Murloc deck.
Yeah.
So
it kind of works, I guess. But, what else? Oh, my Mage Murloc deck won with that today, with a Pyroblast at 10 mana, now that it's been nerfed. But it still worked, still won the match. So, word up to that. And somehow my awesome Priest Taunt deck is still winning ranked matches. Somehow.
Priest Taunt deck?
It's just taunt cards and like a couple of Priest spells. That's all it is.
wow.
That'll work.
And I just wreck people. They're just like, what the fuck? Why are there a bunch of taunts? And it's like, fuck you.
Maybe that's why they're so like blown away.
Yeah, they got all these advanced combos and all this crazy shit. And I'm just like, taunt, buff, dispel, taunt. It's fucking great. But yeah, doing the Hearthstone and doing Diablo 3, which I'm interested in the story now. Which
really?
I never really was, but...
How far in the game are you?
I just started Act 4.
Did you play the first 2 games?
No, I did not. I should point out I'm interested in the story, not all of the lore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's, to me, like, the only reason I was even remotely interested in the story was because I played 2. Like, I probably wouldn't have cared about the story had I not played the second Diablo.
That's interesting, because I played Diablo 2 like fucking crazy. And if you tried to like quiz me on the lore, like 10 years later on Diablo 2, I'm like, I have no... there's Mephisto Vale in Diablo, and they did some shit.
Well,
Vale made Tyrael break that thingy, and then now everything's bad.
There wasn't a ton of lore from 2, but it was just enough to get me interested in what happened in 3, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Because it all kind of ties together from that. And some of the stuff that I knew, like I'd looked up stuff about Diablo 1 and 2 in preparation for 3, and so there's some callbacks to Diablo 1 and a lot of callbacks to Diablo 2 that kind of kept me interested in the story. That being said, it was pretty bad, all things considered.
What, Diablo 3?
Yeah, the story-wise,
yeah,
not the best writing.
Well, I'm not in it for character development. I just like the whole, heaven, hell deal, and
I just want to kill Imperius. Can we just kill Imperius? I fucking hate him so much.
Yeah.
And it's not, from what I know, the whole story of Reaper of Souls, and he's in a big part of it, and I'm like, damn it. I don't want to be by you or with you.
That was the dude that you bring back to life, right?
No, that's the Archangel of what's his Valor. He's the one that fights Diablo in the intro.
Oh, okay, right.
Was just a dick for no reason, even though you're saving his ass like all the time.
Yeah, that guy is a dick. Fuck that guy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Diablo 3, good times. And sorry?
What do you play?
What level are you?
Well, I'm level 28, 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Okay.
And playing the Wizard.
Mm.
Good choice.
Mine is a Witch Doctor. I have a 60 Witch Doctor. Wouldn't recommend it. 1 to 30 Witch Doctor is terrible. It's so boring, in my opinion.
The only class I'll tell people to stay away from is Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is the most poorly conceived class I think they've ever done in any Blizzard game.
Is it just overpowered or boring to play, or?
It's a ranged class that needs to be at range in a game that you can't stay at ranged.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it just doesn't work well. Not anymore. It was okay when we had ridiculous DPS on Demon Hunter, but now it's kind of the same DPS as everybody else with half the survivability.
Yeah, when me and Jan were playing, she liked it when I like froze everything because I'm like melee mage, like get in there and use the whole whatever magic slicing sword bullshit he's got.
Yeah.
Like freeze everything, start slicing everything up, and she just stood at range and blasted everything. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just wanted a necromancer. Like, I didn't want a demon hunter. I played a necromancer in 2, and I was like, this is the best class ever. And they're like, fuck them. Let's make a stupid, half-assed necromancer that is way less interesting.
I played a lot of Necro in Diablo 2, and it was great. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what else. Oh, the Sonic All-Stars Racing did that on Tuesday with the Geek Hole people. Pretty fun. When you get a lot of people in there, it's pretty fun.
It was good times.
But
I'd never get above like 5th place, but you know.
Right.
I was just one step ahead of you the whole time I was there. I placed one spot ahead of you, and that's all that matters.
Fucking Cormus or whoever with that Metal Sonic All-Star that knocked me off a map that, like, the whole thing has walls. You're not supposed to get knocked off of it, yet somehow his ass knocked me off of that. It's fucking bullshit.
He managed to hit BGO so hard he hit him through a solid wall.
Yeah. Fucking shenanigans.
Now, I don't know anything about this game. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like Mario Kart, basically.
Yeah.
But
Well, I was going to ask,
characters.
my favorite character in anything is Dr. Robotnik. And is he a character in this? Because I might have to get it.
No.
Well,
No,
Eggman, I
sadly.
guess.
Eggman and Robotnik aren't one of the options to try.
They're not? Well, fuck
I
that.
mean, they got plenty of their levels, but I don't think they're
Nope.
racer.
He needs to be a guy. Well,
Yeah.
wow.
They do got Alex
Sonic,
Kidd with his,
Oh, really?
with his
And-
watching you masturbate eyes.
Danica Patrick.
Right. And what the fuck is she even
What?
doing in there?
Yeah, they have Dan. I don't know. She's in all
Wait,
of them.
it's
I've got
it's just her?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Danica Patrick in a NASCAR.
What?
I don't know why. It's just there. I've got the Wii U version. She's not even like a version specific. She's in Wii U, PC, all of them. She's just one of the racers.
So there's like Sonic, there's like a hedgehog, a fucking tail, Amy, whatever the fuck she is.
Right.
And a Echidna, and then just Danica Patrick.
Right.
And Wreck-It Ralph and Musashi Joe from
Shinobi.
Samurai Showdown. They've got some of the like Samba de Amigo characters and some of the Monkey Ball characters. And it's just a bunch of random stuff.
All those make sense, except for Danica Patrick.
Danica Patrick, yeah.
Well,
that's what throws,
Fuck.
Wreck-It Ralph also, I don't know why he's in there, but
it throws me off because there's an Afterburner stage, and it uses an F-15 in it like the game. And so there's a Northrop Grumman trademark every time you boot up, because Northrop Grumman owns the trademark for the F-15 Tomcat.
right.
Which is just really strange.
It's,
Wow.
it's all kinds of fucked up in that game.
Yeah.
Still good times, though.
It's good. I've come out a couple times. I know you've been going out. Every Tuesday, basically.
And then once I move, hopefully I can get back in on the Team Fortress 2 nights, because those are really fun.
I don't feel that way, but I'm apparently
No, you don't like the Team Fortress 2 nights?
not a fan of Team Fortress 2 in general. That's just me.
It's just fun to hang out and shoot people in the face and watch people get mad, and like if I get mad, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm out,
Yeah, I don't know. I get, so I think I get a little too annoyed because I want to do well, and I'm not going to do well because I don't play enough.
Right.
Mm.
I just try to see how much fucking mayhem I can cause. Good times. And also playing the Book of Heroes on my phone while at work, since I can't smoke anymore, so whenever I take breaks, I gotta play the game on my phone. Keep me from killing everybody.
You're not going to kill everybody.
It's...
You're not strong enough.
there's chemicals in the kitchen that you can mix together. and then just walk away, like not tell anybody, and just be like, peace out, and walk off. And then everybody's like, what's that smell? And then they're dead.
And that's BGO at.
Right. It's just fucking delimer and bleach. Just mix those together and walk away, and you'll fuck some people up.
Everybody wave at the FBI now that we're all on a list.
Right.
It's okay. In Skype, sometimes me and the other people from Smoking Gamer just start yelling out like Obama bombs, like 9/11. We're like, well, if they're listening, fuck them. Let's just confuse the shit out of them.
Right.
Let's all just start yelling nonsense.
Al-Qaeda farts or something. I don't know.
Okay. Alrighty then.
So that's what I've been doing. Who wants to go next?
I can.
Okay.
I've been playing some WoW still. I don't even know why. I don't know why, but I've been still playing WoW.
Are you
So we call an addiction.
right?
I think
Make
so.
support groups for that.
It's just because I have nothing else to do. I don't even know if it's because of an addiction. It's just because I like have no new games to play.
You can always play Rift
Oh God, no.
or the Secret World or various other free-to-play MMOs.
Jan and everyone else in Smoking Gamer got me to install Terra and start playing Terra again, and I was like, no.
Why? Why would you do that?
Thank you. I don't know, but everyone else was doing it, so I was like, fuck it. I'll play that too.
That combat in that game's so slow. It annoys the shit out of me.
I've never gotten far. I've gotten to like level 10, and I'm like, oh, this is not fun. This is boring. Next.
Yeah, whenever I play that, I'm just like, I wish I was playing Phantasy Star Online instead.
Yeah, it didn't look like my thing. A bunch of people I've seen were into it, but not for me.
Are you rating?
So, yeah,
or
no, I've just been leveling like alts, really, basically. I've been leveling alts. Terra, I'm just leveling a character, I guess, until I get bored and quit.
Right.
Besides that, I have to explain this a little bit. I've never played Skyward Sword on the Nintendo Wii. Like, it's the one Zelda game I've never played. Which probably, after playing it, is a good thing that I hadn't played it. Because I started playing it, and I'm interested in, like, the prequel, like, the story of, like, this is the first, like, game, the first game canonically. But
It's the first in the cycle.
yeah, but it's motion controls, and I'm sure it's been said a million times. It's so terrible. It is just, I'm struggling to get through it. I want to finish it, but it's tough. It's work.
It's kind of a shame because my wife really likes that style of game, but she refuses to play any of the Zeldas because of the motion controls, which I can't fault her for. Like, I can't put anybody through that.
yeah, this shit's stupid.
Well, it's funny because like a lot of the Wii games are like, okay, so they'll have a little bit of motion controls in it. Some games just ignore it completely. This one's like, hey, motion controls are a thing. Let us shove it down your throat for 20 hours.
Well, and it could have been optional. Like, it's cool that they're there. I don't mind that. If they have like an optional mode to not use the motion controls, it'd be a different story.
I was actually thinking that when I was playing it because there's parts where it's like a boss fight. You have to like swing the way he's not like gonna grab your sword, and it's like it's impossible. What they want you to do is like be precise, and I'm just like waving it around like a fucking lunatic, like just hit him.
Right.
And the first boss fight in the game took me almost a half an hour.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
So yeah, I'm still trying to get to the end of that.
Just hack it, fuck it, or just watch it on YouTube or something.
I'm really considering just watching it on YouTube.
Fuck.
And then I also bought FTL, which also was a bad decision.
Really?
I heard that was
Started
rough.
playing that.
You didn't know?
I heard that was just hard.
It's hard. It's frustrating. I know. I was reading earlier that some people don't agree with what I'm about to say, but it's a lot of it is based on chance, like more than it should be, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Because it gets to part of like my last playthrough, I breezed through to the very end of the game with zero problems. The first like encounter in the last area, I just died immediately.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the right combination of stuff, which they give you no indication that you're going to need.
Right.
Like you can just build whatever you want. And it doesn't say like maybe you'll need this at one point, and I can plan for it, but it's just like nope, they don't even tell you.
It's kind of what I saw on Reddit today. I saw some people talking about it on a thread about the hardest levels, and somebody brought up FTL, and they're basically like, yeah, the game's about 50% chance. Like it's just not even. It's frustratingly hard.
It is.
It is, and it's not even like a substitute for difficult. Like I hate chance as a mechanic in place of difficulty, because if you're talented, you can at least beat something that's hard.
Well, I think the
But
point.
chance, like, you just don't have it.
I think the point of it is that it gives it replay value because every time you play it, it's a different adventure or whatever the fuck.
That's true. But I just get frustrated and just don't play it for like a day. And then tomorrow comes and I'm like, I'm bored. What could I do? I boot up FTL and it's like, why?
Yeah,
Why
it
am I
does suck when your second jump is like you're facing some asshole ship or they invade you and start burning all your shit or whatever. You're just like, great.
Well, the first time I ever
fun.
played it, the very beginning, I jumped. The first jump was to like a I don't even know what they're called, like a sun exploding,
Right.
where like it shoots like waves of fire, and I lost immediately. That was my first interaction with the game. And I was like, oh, I think I just wasted $10. Oops. That's FTL.
Right.
In a nutshell, you wasted your money. That's my opinion. That's about it.
Word. So what have you been up to, Mac?
Started playing WoW again this month. I took December off due to work, and so I'm back raiding with Phalanx and Nod and trying to make money because I need money in the game. So I've been doing a lot of jewel crafting, janning, and raiding. Play a little bit of League here and there. Get on and play with some buddies and/or just play bots to kill stress. I did the Sonic night with the Geek Hole guys the other night and played that for a little bit, and some tabletop over Skype with some buddies. So it's been kind of a mix for me the last couple weeks.
How are you guys, how's the rating coming?
We did Wednesday night. We did everything in the third and fourth wings of Flex except for Garage, and we got through Dark Shamans on normal last week.
Oh, right on. Are you guys doing the, whatever, 2-tank strat? Or 3-tank? Whatever that is?
Yeah, we did 3 tanks the other night. We had enough to do 3 tanks, so we 3-tanked it the other night, which helped significantly for that.
Yeah.
Though it's not as easy as it used to be.
It does make that fight a lot easier, though.
It really does. It right now, the tornadoes are now spawning over where they used to not spawn, apparently. So it's a little harder than it used to be, but it's still a lot easier doing it that way than doing it the way you're supposed to.
Right.
So, yeah, mostly I've been playing Warcraft the last week or so. I got Pokemon Y. Got a 2DS for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
So I've been doing that in my spare time here and there at work.
I would love to have that on my phone. Some Pokemon.
It's great for lunch breaks. That's what I do on my lunch break, is I'll either read or I'll play some Pokemon. But
That'd be dope.
Nice.
and my weekends are Dresden Files RPG with people. I do that occasionally when I can get people together.
No, and you guys do that over Skype or whatever?
Yeah, I've been running a game for some friends, so we'll get on Skype. If we do it on like a Friday or Saturday, we'll do like 8 to midnight, 8 to 1.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun. I really like it. It's different. It's different than D&D. It's on a system called the Fate system, which is, instead of rolling a 20-sided die, you roll 4 6-sided die, and it's plus, minus, or nothing. And so there's only like an 8-point swing between -4 and +4 that you can get on a roll. So it's a much narrower window of possibilities.
Right on. All right, so is that it for that, then? Shall we move
Yeah.
on?
Yep.
Let's move on.
All right.
Topic 1.
All right, so our first topic of the evening is toy chest in Warcraft. Anybody?
Yay!
What's going on with that? Because I have no idea.
Basically, the pet and mount tab that they made?
Right.
They're doing that for most toys. There's going to be some exceptions, but most of the little, like the punnable marmot you get in Outland, or not Outlands, Mist of Pandaria and all that.
Right.
They're turning all that into like a tab so that you don't have to take up bag space with it.
Oh, right on. I actually have a lot of that shit.
You and me both. I'm basically a WoW hoarder.
I've never met anyone else like me who doesn't. Like, I delete that stuff. Like, I don't know why I don't keep it. It's fun. It's just I'm like there's no place for this in my bags right now. Bye. And it's just gone.
I was that way when I played Druid, and back in Burning Crusade, I switched through 4 different specs at that point, and so I kept 4 sets of gear in my bags. But now that I play a monk, it doesn't matter. I have 1 set of gear.
Now that you bring that up, I think it might be because I've played a warlock since vanilla, and I still remember like keeping soul shards in your bags, where I never had bag space. That could be it. I've never even thought of that before.
That's why I did it with my Druid. I carried 4 full sets of gear when I was in... Actually, 5 at one point, because I had resist gear for Hydros in Burning Crusade.
Oh,
so I had 5 sets of gear in my bags at all times, and it's not like you got multiple 16, 20 slot bags or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
No.
It was back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Good old resistance fights. Those were fun.
So, what are they doing with the awesome trinkets then? Are they turning them into toys, or are they leaving them trinkets?
Well, that's what I saw the other day talking about on MMO Champion. They're saying they're not going to put the trinkets in because they're equipable. So anything that's equipable like that, I don't think is going to be able to go in there.
Well, that sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why don't they just change those trinkets to toys?
There was some reasoning behind it. I don't know. I think it's mostly the too long didn't read is that it's too much trouble.
Yep. Basically.
It's fucking so dumb.
That's basically the answer, was that they decided it wasn't worth their time to do that. It's regardless, you should get a lot of bag space out of that, though.
Because I still have that hound trinket from
Scarlet Monastery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still have
Does that even drop anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Houndmaster, I believe. I don't think it drops on. I thought it dropped on normal still, but Houndmaster's still there.
Yeah, but I still have that. I like to pull that out when I'm chilling with some hunters and be like, check it out, I'm a hunter too.
Yeah, I probably have a Barov peasant collar laying around somewhere.
I think the only thing of that type I've kept was the necklace from Firelands that turned you into a whatever they were called, flame druid or whatever. I don't know why I kept that, but
man,
my only thing.
MOP was hard on my bag space for that because there's like a million little like clickables that you've got, and I carry them through and rotate through in raids to screw with people.
Yeah, you got all the kegs and fucking.
Yeah. And I mean, I carry trains and I carry paper zeppelins. I want to annoy people as much as possible in this game. Like, that's one of my goals.
Yeah, my train destroyer, that's been in my bag since Wrath.
Nice.
My one regret in this game is that I can't drop multiple trains.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I hate that shit.
Hey, we made our GM rage quit in one of my guilds. Like, no lie, that was what broke him one night. We dropped so many trains, he rage quit. Wow.
Yeah, fuck.
That's a real achievement. I would feel proud if I did that to somebody else.
I'm not ashamed of that. He was a nice guy, but he had some anger issues.
Like, I went out of my way to get that train wrecker toy. Because I would think I was leveling my rogue in AV. And that was just the worst. You get like 40 people like, all right, we're all at the gate. And then somebody drops a train. It's just like ear rape.
I used to drop them randomly in the auction house. And I carry a train record now just so that I can, in case somebody is beginning to get into that rage quit mode, I can maybe try to stop that.
Yeah.
I didn't buy one until my GM rage quit. And then I was like, maybe I should carry one of those just in case.
And the only thing I farmed in Mr. Pandaria but never got was that mirror that lets you turn into like whatever.
I don't think I've seen that.
Isn't that an archaeology thing?
No, it's from there's a rare mob that spawns out in the Dread Wastes, right? Is that what that?
Mirror. The only thing I know is that the dude in the Veil where you need 10 shards to summon him and then you get him as a mount.
Oh no!
Yeah, I still want to do that.
This was like, it was like a toy or whatever, and then you'd use it and you'd turn in the whatever you were targeting.
Pretty much all the rares in MOP had some small chance to drop some kind of a toy or buff or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I never got it though. That bitch never dropped it for me. And she fucking early in MOP, she was a bitch to fight as a Shadow Priest.
A lot of those rares at the beginning of MOP were rough.
And if you're trying to get a drop from them, you don't want to get a group going. So, fuck. Shit sucked.
Yep.
Yeah, good times. So they're bringing in the toy chest. That's good news. And, yeah, I guess that's it for that topic, or...
I think so.
Yeah. So, on to the next topic then, huh?
Next topic.
Topic 2.
Alright, so you're going to have to explain this one to me, Necro. But Nintendo pays royalties for 3DS.
Yeah, Nintendo was forced through a court ruling to pay royalties for every single 3DS they've sold and every one that they're going to sell. Basically, what happened is this dude, what was his company's name? Like Tomita Technologies, I believe, claimed that Nintendo had infringed upon his copyright for a 3D system that doesn't use glasses. Which of
I
course
thought it was for the camera.
Oh, was it? Well, this.
Yeah, I think it's for the camera one that he actually got hit for. It was the camera on the 3DS or whatever that they had, or something like that. I read something about maybe that was the Wii U one.
Because I was looking for the Wii U one, but I couldn't find information on that one. So maybe I know for the 3DS one, the article I have here says he claims that they infringed on his right as a 3D system without glasses. But it could be the camera.
So is this...
It's the 3D camera technology. I don't know what that means.
Oh, is that for the Sky whatever fuckers? What is that game? Skylanders?
Skylanders?
Yeah.
No.
It might be how when they say camera, it might be how it shows it, like on the screen in 3D.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, regardless,
Okay.
A court ruled in his favor, and Nintendo has to pay him a amount, but it changes as the system gets older, because if they just fixed a flat amount as the price of the system went down, they would lose more and more money on each one. So I
say 1.82% of the wholesale price.
Exactly. Right now, that's $3 per unit. It says on this article.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To give you perspective, last I heard, the 3DS was actually the best-selling console altogether. It actually beat out both the Xbox One and the PS4.
I think it did in
Like
the
in-
sales, current gen or whatever.
Well, no, not even in terms of like last year. It was like week to week. It was actually leading everything in sales.
I believe it.
Right. And it looks like, if this article is correct, this one ruling alone, he'd already won another lawsuit against Nintendo, where they ended up paying him, what does this say, $15 million. And it says this one is going to set them back right now at $105 million, and it's going to increase, obviously. Which is kind of bad for Nintendo, because the Wii U didn't sell that great.
Is this just a patent troll, or did this dude legitimately have like some shit?
I don't know. Every article, I was actually thinking about that. Every article doesn't mention that at all. They just mention the news that it happened.
I think the problem is this was all in Japan, so we're all reading English. We're all reading English reporting of all this. I'm looking at this. You're right that it's the 3D without glasses, and it has to do with his 3D camera technology. And so all of this is like third hand through Japanese news sources now, because the numbers I'm looking at were different than what yours were, but are still pretty outrageous. Well, and I'm not saying yours are wrong. I don't know which ones are right, but they're still. I mean, it's still a pretty nice sized chunk of change. 3DS is Nintendo's like killer. I mean, it really is selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I know all console makers have to pay a royalty to the Magnavox guy.
Yeah.
Every time they do that, but
And I believe Xbox is paying royalties to Sony actually because they're using Blu-ray.
yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Because Sony owns the Blu-ray patents.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they take a cut of every Blu-ray sold. Blu-ray player, I should say.
Yeah,
Wow.
that
So-
Magnavox guy, he's been making money since like the 80s. Off that shit. Fucking way to go.
That's a good position to be in.
Yep.
But yeah, so well, if it's in Japan, that probably isn't a patent troll then, because that seems to be an American-only thing.
I don't know. You get them in some places, I thought, but yeah, I suspect it's a legit patent because it's from Japan.
Yep.
Plus, Nintendo doesn't lose lawsuits normally.
They're pretty much.
So what the fuck, Nintendo? Get your shit together. Stop stealing shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Dicks.
wondering how that happened. Like, somebody dropped the ball royally, and somebody's going to get thrown in the lava at this point.
They'll have to kill themselves.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the whole thing is exceptionally
With the
ironic.
Right, yeah.
Somebody's got to do Harry Carey with the Master Sword.
It's all exceptionally ironic when you think about how they've been dealing with YouTubers and their content.
Yeah.
Where they're basically taking the side of. Well, I know people disagree on this issue, but as someone who does YouTube and does Let's Plays sometimes.
I think it's shitty, but it's well within their legal right. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely.
Like,
I think when they.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I was just saying, I totally agree with you. But when you have things like this happening, it's just kind of. There's nothing like really connecting the two more than just me going, really, Nintendo?
Like, yeah. How does it feel, Nintendo? How does it fucking feel?
I'm not feeling sorry for you at all,
Right.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Didn't they back off of that on YouTube, though, right?
I don't know.
They quit issuing takedowns, last I heard. But it's still, you can't monetize. I don't know that you can monetize your stuff if it's Nintendo.
Not sure. I stay away from Nintendo just for that reason, so I don't know.
Silly. It's all silly. But right on. So, is that enough for that topic?
I believe so.
Alright, we're blasting through these. Alright, topic, this one.
Topic 3.
Alright, so, Ghostcrawler left Blizzard. Turns out he
Yay!
was joining Riot Games to work on League of
Boo.
Legends.
I take it you're not a fan of Ghostcrawler, Mac.
I have mixed feelings about Ghostcrawler. I have very mixed feelings about Druid. I went from loving Druid to hating Druid during his rise. The more control Ghostcrawler got in Blizzard, the less I wanted to play Druid.
Hmm.
I don't know that those two are directly related for sure, but yeah.
Well, from the stuff I was reading in the forum post on there, it's more like, I think Riot's kind of a new company, and they kind of rose up, out of the garage or whatever the fuck. So I don't think they have like a true, big time publisher structured business model going on yet. And I think that's why they brought Ghostcrawler on, so he could get the teams in order and be like, this is how you run a video game.
To give you some perspective, most of the Riot developers I've seen are guys who actually worked on the original Guild Wars. They were guys from ArenaNet that I guess Riot hired on. The original guys who started it are another story, but most of their head dev is one of the guys from ArenaNet that was in charge of PvP for Guild Wars. And from what he said, and like you said in the forum post, they're bringing Ghostcrawler on largely to manage teams. So it might be a good thing, because Ghostcrawler has a lot of experience with large teams working at Blizzard. Blizzard has grown by leaps and bounds since he started working there, because I think he started working there in Burning Crusade,
right?
Was what I saw somebody say. And so Blizzard's probably tripled or quadrupled in size since then, if I had to guess. So he's probably used to working with large teams, which is probably good for Riot, because they need to get their asses to hire some more developers.
Yeah, because they're blowing up huge, and I don't, they were small, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So
they are the new Warcraft, basically.
Right.
Interesting. I don't play LoL or know anything about Riot, so that's curious that you make that comparison.
I don't think...
To give you some perspective, they rented out the Staples Center for their World Finals this year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They sold it out and had millions upon millions. I think it was 10 million concurrent watching.
Jeez.
it's largely it's partially due to Asia, but I mean, League is probably far and away the most popular game. There's something to be said for the Warcraft 3 Dota mods. That might be the only thing to even rival League of Legends player base.
Hmm.
And I think like Ghostcrawler won't actually be like fucking around with like balance or numbers or whatever. So
that's kind of the impression I got. And that's why I said I have mixed feelings about it. I can't pin certain decisions down on Ghostcrawler. It's kind of unfair to say Ghostcrawler ruined WoW, because I've seen a lot of people say that, and that's why they don't want him at Riot. But Ghostcrawler didn't ruin WoW. It was more than just him making decisions. I mean, to some degree, yeah, he was probably the final say on a lot of it, but it's not solely his fault, and it's not the same kind of game either. It's a completely different environment.
sorry, that's my
Right.
phone.
It's okay. That's an amazing ring.
Yeah.
Proto Man.
Right. That would be my girlfriend, probably. So it was great to go to the forums on League of Legends and see all the rage. That was.
I was going to say, I never recommend anybody ever do that. Go to the Reddit if you want, like, semi-reasonable discussion.
Was
The
it really
forums
bad?
there-
It's worse.
forums-
It's worse than the Warcraft forums.
wouldn't
Oh
say
my
that,
God.
But I wouldn't say that, but it's as bad as the Warcraft forums at their height.
Yeah.
They are equally a cesspit of and think about this, is that there's no, as Rusty from /Choose talked about this, there's no buy-in to this. Anybody can make an
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
It's not like Warcraft where there was kind of a paywall. Anybody can sign up for this. As long as you have, I think, a level 10 account, which takes, you can get that pretty quickly. It's not like an instant thing, but there's a lot of people.
I'm kind of curious if his moniker of Ghostcrawler ruining WoW is going to stick with him at League of Legends.
I don't know. He's, in all honesty, there's a good chance he's going to go there, work from him, we'll never hear from him again.
Really?
That's entirely likely that if he's doing what they said he's doing, he may never talk publicly about any of this. That Morello, their head developer right now, is actually kind of the Ghostcrawler of Riot, and that he's very vocal and very very hands-on with the community in terms of talking about stuff. They actually have really good community teams in terms of their developers interacting with people and talking and putting information out there. Here and there, they go through spurts of quietness, but Riot already has its own Ghostcrawler, basically. So he may just be in the background managing stuff and may not be a front face like he was in Warcraft.
Well, that's good, because one of the things I was sad about him when I heard he was leaving is he was the guy that always was on Twitter like a bajillion tweets a day talking about WoW, and now it's like, well, now there's like 3 people, but it was kind of like I can get the lore, I can get like gameplay, I can get what shit they're planning on from him. He was the whole package.
Well, and see, that's one of my fears. I'm afraid that Riot's going to turn into what Blizzard was for a while, of nobody but Ghostcrawler talk. So I don't want the Rioters to quit interacting with their community the way they do. Like, you get a lot of interaction on the forums. They're on Reddit, they're on Twitter, and their player base is pretty big, so you're not exactly going to get one-on-one time. But I've been impressed with how much they talk to people.
Right. Interesting. I'm waiting to see who the next scapegoat on WoW is, too, by the way. I wonder
They're
who
going to bring back Tesseric.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I think
It'd be hilarious if they did.
They've got like multiple people now on Twitter.
Yeah.
They've
Well,
got
I know there's
PvE
like
guy and a PvP guy, and it's
I know the joke guys blame Celestial on. Like, that's a hashtag, that's a thing. And I guess I know the origins of it. But
I hadn't heard about that.
It's interesting.
Zarum and Bashiok kind of took over where Ghostcrawler was. Like, their community managers have done more of the talking in the last couple of years, I think, than Ghostcrawler did. Since MOP, I feel like he backed off more anyways.
Right. Well,
yeah. We'll see how that pans out. Maybe Ghostcrawler will just completely fucking destroy League of Legends. It'll be over.
I'll be interested to see that. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of keeping an eye on. I'm a big LoL fan, so I have a very vested interest in this and what happens in terms of me liking the game. But it's a 50-50 shot. You never know. It's different circumstances, and he may have learned from his time at Blizzard, even if he did screw up.
You know, it's interesting that he joined Riot, and then I was just reading today on, I think it was Massively, one of those sites, but basically League of Legends just released a patch that was more new player friendly, quote unquote.
I wasn't going to talk about that, but I kind of wondered that too. That's my fear. That's my big fear. Is I'm afraid that they're heading in the direction that Warcraft kind of did, and I'm not sure that's a good direction for.
Yeah, it's over.
I don't know. Warcraft has always been, or not Warcraft. LoL has always been the noob friendly MOBA. Compared to Dota 2 and Heroes of New Earth and the actual original Dota, it is more noob friendly. Smite might be now. Smite is another different take on that. But League of Legends has less punishing mechanics than any of the other.
Yeah, mechanic-wise, I'm sure it's friendly. Social-wise or community-wise, no.
Okay,
I was going to say...
it is as good as LFR is.
Right.
It is no worse than that.
I don't know.
I don't know. I heard really bad things, and generally in LFR, I don't have many problems.
I mean, I quit
could be
playing
lucky.
League of Legends just because I couldn't. People are dicks on that game, and I'm just like, fuck this.
I don't have that problem. I don't know. I mean, I run across as many in that as I do in Warcraft.
I mean, I'm bad at League of Legends, so maybe that's part of it.
Not good, but I mean I don't know. It's you get any group of people where you have large player bases, people are going to be assholes.
Right.
That's true.
Well, mark the date, and then once people start to say League of Legends suck, they can tie the date to Ghostcrawler. And
yeah, when did he join? That's the day LOL died.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Mark it down.
That's the day the music died.
All right. So next topic.
Next topic.
Topic 4.
All right. So the new SimCity that came out, last year, right?
Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It's EA is now putting in an offline mode for it.
Yay!
Their claims were that there was a lot of work that they had to do on the back end to get it to work offline, and they'll be releasing that soon. Kind of bullshit, considering that, modders did it in a week after it released.
Yep.
So, what the fuck, EA?
See, this is why we're going through the topic so fast. Necro's not nearly mad enough.
Yeah.
If Jan were here, we would get a 20-minute screaming rant about how bad EA and SimCity are.
Right.
Well, you know what's funny? I was part, or at least she told me, or expressed some of her rant, however you want to say it, towards me about it. That's why I never bought SimCity. And I still have never bought it.
See, I listened to the wrong people. Her and Seraphis and Rusty all told me to buy the game.
That was before they realized the true horror of fucking how terrible that game is.
It's not a bad game. It's only about a 20-hour game, though. At most. It's great up until you hit... There's just this point you hit, and you just hit this wall, and it's an amazing game until you hit this wall, and when you hit this wall, you just hate it.
And that's
what happens.
They also haven't fixed that yet.
No.
The cities
the
are the
sizes
same...
are about...
Yeah, they're the same size.
They're about half the size they should be.
Right.
The cities are half the size they should be, and that's the real problem. Among some of the other issues that they had that they've supposedly fixed.
So EA is just... What the fuck is going on with EA? This and the whole Battlefield 4 just massive fiasco. Just today I was reading they're releasing another patch to fix the fucking save bug on single player mode.
They're the ones that killed Command and Conquer too, as a franchise.
Fucking right.
They killed
that franchise.
Yeah.
Yes, they bought Westwood, and they essentially have killed. They made, I guess, Command and Conquer 4.
No, we don't speak of that.
Yeah, and it's so bad that the sequel got halfway into development and they just canned it, and they're like, okay, Command and Conquer's dead. We're not making any more games. We can't make money off of it.
That's so bad because Command and Conquer 3 is fucking great.
Yep.
The third one is so good, and then they're like, here's 4, it sucks and it's terrible.
Why?
And that's That's what they did, and SimCity was in the same vein as that.
Yeah, like
It was the exact
they
same
released
bloody
that
thing.
game and everybody was like, "This is shit. Fuck this," and it fucking killed the franchise.
Yep.
What-
It's a shame too because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a bad game. There was a core of a good idea there that got mangled, and it just got horribly, horribly mangled somewhere along the way.
They were trying to make it all Facebooky and social or whatever the fuck.
Well, the online stuff, the multiplayer would have been great if that was like an option and not the only thing. If you had like a single player option that you could have played like normally with like 2 or 3 times more city space, it would have been more fun. The idea of being able to play with other people was kind of neat. In practice, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when they first were talking about it, I was like, that sounds fucking awesome. And then it came
Yeah.
out, and I was like, oh shit, I'm glad I didn't buy that.
They had to have
Yeah,
known it
it's-
was bad before they released it, right?
Oh, there was feedback. They just didn't believe it.
I mean, basically,
That's right. I remember what happened now. The beta was only about an hour long. The beta was like a preview deal, and you couldn't play long enough to hit any of the problems yet, because like I said, the problems are only about 20 hours in. When you have finished your city and filled out the space after about 20 hours, you've got nowhere left to go, no way to get more new resources. The traffic had an AI bug. There was pollution bugs, and then there's a whole bunch of issues like that just after about 20 hours, these issues started cropping up. Nobody played the game that long before it released, near as anybody could tell.
Yep.
I mean, basically, what the fuck's going on at EA? Like, how can that company still remain in business? I mean, could this kind of, when I see shit like this in the Battlefield 4 thing, like, is EA like headed towards disaster? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not someone who is. I know Jan feels this way about politics and specific. Like you just set fire to it and let the whole thing just burn down and get destroyed. I would not actually. I don't think at this point, after what they did to Command and Conquer, which was like my childhood experience, aside from like Sega, I would not be sad if EA just exploded and it just died. I feel like you deserve what happened to you, EA.
That's the thing, is the sports franchises were holding them up for so long, but they're starting to lose those.
Yeah.
So it might happen. I think it's unlikely. I mean, I think they probably are going to be around for a while, but they're not doing as well as, say, Activision.
They just
Them and Activision used to be on par, and that's not the case anymore.
they just keep releasing like shitty products, like unfinished, broken shit.
Yeah, they're banking on nostalgia, which
And they just straight up
doesn't
sell it.
work.
They're just like, this is for sale. It's totally broken. Doesn't work at all. We know it doesn't work. Here, buy it. You know? Like,
Yeah.
you can't do that and stay in business. It's got to be. It's coming. It's fucking coming for EA. The end
I
is
feel
near.
like they've done something right, but I can't tell you what it is. That's the thing.
Oh, I think with BioWare, how you could have like gay relationships. That was like ooh, good job, EA. You
Don't even get me started
You know?
on BioWare, because they killed Old Republic, is my feelings on it. Like, I was in the Old Republic beta for about a year before it came out, and I played for a year before it was ever out, and you could see a point where it's like, okay, well, I guess we have to release now, and they just started pushing it out the door, even though it needed another year. If it had had another year of development, Old Republic might have actually been a contender to overtake WoW. But it did not have enough momentum on launch because it was released about a year early.
Yeah, because EA was like, get it out the door. It's broken, but we don't give a shit.
Yep. And then they were like, now we're going to fix it. Free-to-play system. And it's terrible. It might be the worst one I've ever seen.
It's not the worst one I've ever seen, but it is up there.
So bad. So
I
bad.
was
for
so
EA.
excited for SWTOR. He just
Me too.
ruined it.
I went hard on it for about 3 months. I quit WoW, and after about 3 months, everybody I knew quit playing. And it's like, well, now I have nothing to do.
I left then because my guild leader just totally left WoW and just abandoned the guild. He's like, I'm going to SWTOR. And then 6 months later, he came back and tried to get his position. And we were like, haha, bye.
That's what happened to my guild, actually. A bunch of them left for Star Wars, and that was the end. Everybody who
Well, that's the
stayed
thing.
in WoW was just like, well, guess that's it. See you guys later. We all went our separate fucking ways.
I don't think they did any beta testing of the end game. When I was in it, when they started pushing for like open beta, they were testing the like 50 to 60 content or whatever, the last 40 to 50. It was the last 10 levels or so, and they never really tested. They did a little bit of testing on the end game content, but not much. And so the game was great right up until you hit level cap. It was the best MMO I've ever played until you hit level cap, and then it's like there's not enough to do. There's nothing to do at that point. And half of it was buggy that you could do.
Right. It's just EA, fucking bad news. If you got EA stock, sell it, because that might be a sinking ship. I know I've read somewhere on Polygon that a couple people have left EA recently.
Yeah.
So, I think them, because last year was just terrible. They just constantly fucked everything up that they put their hands on.
Yeah.
I think they even fucked up Madden somehow. So.
Yep, that's what I was saying, is they're screwing up even their sports games. They're starting to lose their sports license, their exclusivity licenses.
Yeah. And
their games aren't selling because they're getting even lazy on those. They released a FIFA game a year ago. They released their yearly FIFA, and they literally did not change anything except to put a new number on it. I think it was the Wii version, maybe, which I guess maybe make it more excusable, but they rolled like they took the like 2011 version and put a 2012 date on it and didn't change anything and released it. People were ready to kill.
That's, just bad. Bad news for EA. But, don't buy their products until they actually launch a game that works and you get what you fucking pay for. Instead of just being constantly screwed by them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take that, EA.
Yeah, fuck EA. This is a unique opinion. We don't like you.
And then once
Necro's gonna burn you down.
Once this podcast, I get the company going and we go to E3, I'll interview you and take your free shit that you hand out and all that stuff.
You know what's sad? You do. I'm really looking forward to Dragon Age 3, but I'm also really afraid it's going to be terrible.
Nope. I hate those things.
You're not a fan of Dragon Age?
I am offended that they are considered RPGs.
Really?
Yes. I miss old, good, like Final Fantasy JRPGs. It makes me angry what's considered RPGs these days, because I'm an old man. I miss good RPGs. I can see that. I miss, like, Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy VII and, like, Breath of Fire 3 and all the stuff that, like, you actually got a good story out of.
Well, that's...
like,
you gotta go to...
strategy and...
You gotta go to Japan for that, though.
That's why I bought a 2DS.
Yeah.
I picked up a cheap 2DS because all the good RPGs now are on, because all the emphasis on graphics and gameplay and all this. I just want, like, I want strategy and I want story. I don't really care about, like, the interactive, skill-based stuff they throw in. Mass Effect was okay. That was the most excusable because it was kind of an interesting mix of first-person shooter and RPG. And that was interesting at the time. But...
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't go west for your RPGs, because they're not great.
Well, see, some people swear by Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim and Dragon Age, and so I mean, I understand there's a market for that. It's just not for me. It makes me angry that I can't get good JRPGs because those got popular. I'm just bitter.
Mm.
Gotcha.
All right, so last deal then? Yeah? Yes?
Yeah.
All right.
Cold topic.
Alright, so we did have a thing on the forums, but I think what happened is I ended up posting it kind of late, and then we didn't really get a lot of responses, which is lucky because Jan isn't here to give away her games, but we didn't get enough to give away games, so it all kind of works itself out. But anyway, it's pretty much just non-mail. He replied, it was the best and worst of 2013. And I haven't read this yet, so such a personal choice. I really do not have a best for 2013, but I have a lot of almosts. Defiance, Neverwinter, both could and should have been so much better. For me, the worst is easy. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. The game had nothing new but sea battles, and they were not exciting at all. There's just so many times you can climb shit, dive into hay, and believe no one saw you. So...
Wow. Wasn't 4 like one of the best received ones? That's interesting.
It's been mixed.
Oh,
People
maybe I
complain
just...
that it's not an Assassin's Creed game. It was a great pirate game.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that is what Jan told me. So I remember I don't play those games. I know Jan told me
I don't
like they
either.
shit all over the story in the third, and they were like, "Fuck it, just put pirates in," and then they made the fourth
Pretty
one.
much. That sounds like that. A sounds like Jan, and B sounds like an accurate description. I actually wanted to check it out because I've never been into the Assassin's Creed thing, but I was like, hey, pirates sound cool, so I might actually enjoy it.
I never really got into Assassin's Creed. I just couldn't.
I never did.
I don't know. Just never
I
floated
tried
my
2.
boat.
I was told not to play 1. I tried 2. I got like an hour into it, and I was like, "This is not that fun."
You would not have liked 1 then, from what I heard. I heard
I heard it
one
was hard for no
bad.
reason.
I just heard it was very linear and not what they promised. Basically, 2 was more what the original Assassin's Creed promised.
Mm.
All right, so thank you, non-Mel, for replying to the discussion topic. And our one for this week, it's will you buy a Steam box? So that will be
Why?
up on the Geek Hole for you to answer. You know, because you want an official Steam computer, I guess.
Yeah.
Or I hear, you know, they're
That makes-
making like the design of them or whatever like fits in your living room better.
Yeah, I'm with Cormus that they're selling something for an audience that doesn't exist.
Yep.
I really am a firm believer in that.
So yeah, I think Steam's trying to. I think they're going big, and they're going after Microsoft in the operating system and trying to make something for gamers, and they're just trying to get some support on board so they can.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call it, break into the market or whatever the fuck.
I mean, I understand what they're doing. And I saw an article on Reddit about this sometime. I didn't read much of it, but it was just saying that Valve's not targeting PC players like everybody thinks. Valve is targeting console players, trying to woo them over and transition them into PC to preserve the PC. They're not really trying to fight consoles as much as they are trying to preserve PC gaming market. But I don't know. I think that everybody that wants to play stuff on PC like that already does, and everybody that wants to play stuff on consoles because they don't want to deal with it is still going to buy a console.
Yep.
I think Valve's just trying to bust in with their OS, but not wanting to put a lot of risk into it.
Yeah. Well, Valve's a weird company, man. There's no telling what they're doing because there's no management at Valve.
Yeah, they just they just do whatever, and then if it works, it's like, yay.
Yeah. I think it's somebody just had this cool idea of, hey, I want to do this, and Gabe Newell went, yeah, it sounds pretty cool, let's do that.
I mean, when's the last time, Windows actually had a legitimate challenger, though?
No, this is true, but it's not going to challenge Windows.
I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're gunning for, though.
I don't think so. Maybe, but I can't see how it will challenge. I don't see how a very specific, very focused thing like that is going to challenge a more broad and robust system in terms of purpose. Like, the reason Windows is what it is because it does so many things. SteamOS is more focused on gaming.
Right.
I can't see it being used for non-gaming things.
You never know. I mean, Steam does sell, like, all sorts of programs on there that aren't games.
Name one.
What's the music one on there?
Without looking. Yeah, give me a name without looking at
I know they got a music one. They got a bunch of game development tools. Because they're like, if you go on there, I mean, they're like $90, $100.
I know.
They're huge.
I believe you, but I'm just saying, who buys those?
Well, game developers, people making music.
People? Your answer is people. Let me get this straight.
Yeah, people.
So I don't know.
Companies.
People. No, companies buy real products.
They're real products?
Yeah, okay. You keep telling yourself that, buddy.
Hey. I'm saying I'm not saying it's the go-to place for your goddamn Excel spreadsheet, whatever bullshit.
I didn't think you were like upping.
But
your
the
dosage.
precedent's there. The idea is there. It's there on Steam. I'm not saying it's successful. I'm just saying it's there.
Okay. Keep saying things. I'm gonna keep telling you.
There's a foundation there. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Maybe it's a dumb idea. Maybe Valve will become our new overlords, and Microsoft will go bankrupt.
I think it's an interesting idea for people that don't want a full PC sitting in their living room. It doesn't bother me to get a small tower case and sit it next to my TV, and maybe I'm weird about that, but I don't understand the benefit of installing SteamOS over using Steam in big picture mode and having a full computer there that you could also pull up web browsers or various other things that are not integrated into Steam, such as League of Legends.
Well, I know,
Pretty
Steam's
much.
OS is also supposed to be, built for gaming and makes your shit all run better, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. It has potential. I just think that they're selling. I think I agree with Cormus that they're selling and they don't know what their market is. I think it's one of those experimental things they came up with, and now they don't know what to do with it.
Right. Could be. You never know. It's just interesting. Good times, so.
Yeah.
But, if there was a cheap one, I might buy one. Just for like a living room, whatever deal.
Yeah, and see, my
Small
computer's
pack.
sitting close to my TV. It doesn't matter to me. I have a HDMI cable that I run to my machine if I want to put my machine on the TV.
I mean, yeah, I'm moving in with a girlfriend, so that would require me to have another PC out by the TV if I wanted to do any streaming. Or, the PS3 or whatever the fuck.
PS4.
No PS4, so they got that shit on lockdown. You can't be doing that on the PS4.
Streaming?
Yeah.
You can stream on the PS4. You just can't stream Playroom.
You can't what?
You can stream on the PS4. I'm confused.
Stream from your PC to your PS4 to your TV? You can still do
No, the PS4 has integrated streaming in it.
Yeah.
It's got Twitch integration.
No, I mean, like, if you want to watch a movie on your TV.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got Netflix and Amazon,
Right.
and as long as you get it from the right place, you can. But
Right.
yeah, I understand now. Yeah, that makes sense.
You can still do that with the PS3, but the PS4, no. You gotta buy the app or suck whatever dick or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Same with
I've
the
got a-
Xbone and...
Yeah, I've got a PS3, an Xbox 360, a Wii U, a Wii, a PS2, and a computer within 2-3 feet of my TV. So
Nice.
yeah, my wife is more tolerant than she has any right to be.
Right. So we'll see. But yeah, that'll be we'll put that on the forums, and then people can say yes or no, or what they hate about the Steam box, or whatever the fuck. And, yeah, I'm sure Jan has something to say about that next week, and maybe we'll give away a game if enough people...
And they can all tell you you're wrong.
Right.
Yep.
I have high
I'm
hopes.
disappointed.
I have high hopes for it.
I'm disappointed I missed last week's discussion topic because Super Mario 3D World did not get nearly enough press, and that was Game of the Year.
That was on the Wii U, right?
Yes, it was amazing. It is worth buying a Wii U just for that game.
It got a lot of press. I mean, it did.
I'm waiting for
It was-
Zelda.
A lot of the
It
reviews
was
I
too
saw
late in the
were...
year.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people have the Wii U, so that's why it didn't get talked about a lot. But all the reviews I saw, everybody was like, damn, this shit's fucking awesome.
It is worth buying a Wii U just for that game.
I don't know about that.
It was good.
I don't know about that.
Wonderful 101. All sorts
I'm waiting
of
for an awesome Zelda. After playing Skyward Sword, I have to see the new Zelda first.
I can't blame you. There's a new Zelda in the pipe that is not quite unannounced. They said that they're working on it. They haven't given the info. There's Hyrule Warriors, Smash Brothers 4, Mario Kart 8, X, and one other thing that I want. That's why I basically, my parents got me one for my birthday, and I was like, I'm just basically holding on to it until something else comes out.
I'll probably pick one up when they go on sale at some point, I'm sure.
Highly recommend
Yeah, also
it.
that. I'm waiting for a sale on that shit.
They have them every now and then.
Could have got one for Christmas for cheap, but I didn't know all this shit was coming out for it.
Check out reddit.com/r/game deals, and they post sales for them occasionally on there. They'll pop up. They've got all kinds of sales on there, and occasionally the Wii U will be on there. Bundles or something will be on sale. But I'm kind of sad because I think I'm gonna have to buy an Xbox One to play Destiny with people. And I really don't want to buy an Xbox One, but I want to play Destiny with people.
No, it's the PS4. That's where everybody will be playing Destiny on.
Rusty and Fancy already have Destiny, or already have Xbox Ones. So if they're playing Destiny, I guarantee
Rusty
you
doesn't
they're
have
gonna be
his
playing on
yet.
Xbox. Well, this is true.
But
The tracking number did not have T1 in it, so he might get one.
he was saying today there was some sort of trailer accident or something, and that's why they couldn't deliver it.
I saw that. That poor bastard.
But
yeah.
look, I'm getting a PS4, so it's whatever.
Yeah, that's what my choice will be for that.
I mean, you want to give me an
PS4.
X-Bone for free, sure, but
I'm starting to squirrel away money to save up because I may end up buying both of them to play with people because I want to play Destiny with people. If everybody's playing on Xbox One, I guess that's where I'm going to go. I wish there was the PC copy because everybody would play on PC if they had that, but apparently they're not doing PC time soon.
yeah.
I don't understand. Like, is there an actual legitimate reason for that? Well, they just like
Most
no, we're
likely
not
a
gonna...
gigantic pile of money.
Right.
That's usually why that happens. Although, in all fairness, Bungie does not have much PC development experience. It might be a bit of a stretch for them, and they may put one out later, but PC has not been their primary platform.
Right.
Yeah.
I get. I see what you mean.
That's what I assume is why. But I assume it's a giant pile of money. It's literally the only console exclusive outside of Kingdom Hearts that's not a Nintendo game that I want to play.
Oh yes, Kingdom Hearts. That's another reason I need a PS4. Shit.
Yep.
Right. All right. So, end of the show. Shit. I'm on Twitter at the Big Game Over. You can follow me there for show updates and other bullshit. And you can follow Jan on Twitter to see if she lives or dies from her current sickness at Janelle5.
And listen to her hate on work.
Right.
Most of her tweets are about how much she hates her job.
Well, there was an update. She says she should be good by Monday because she went to the doctor and he gave her a meds and an
That's
inhaler.
good.
So
We'll see if she makes it. I'm praying.
I got money on her dying of a heart attack or a stroke, so
Right.
she needs to.
I'm praying for you, Jan. But, email the show, 5gamingthings@gmail.com. And we're live on Thursdays at Twitch TV/5gamingthings. And we did have a chat room, but I think everybody bailed. I'm not entirely sure what happened.
yeah, just kind of
Alistair's still
stopped.
Yeah. But, what else?
Because
Oh,
I'm here and I'm the least interesting man in the world.
it's not true. Not true. And then, what else? We're on Stitcher. Thumbs up on Stitcher.
Leave a
And-
review.
Right, leave
Do
a
it.
review, all that stuff on Stitcher. Fuck iTunes, but we're on there. But fuck iTunes.
Fuck iTunes.
What else? Donate to the show or not, no big deal. 5gamingthings.com. You can also go there, leave a voicemail, and I don't
We
know.
give BGO money so he doesn't commit seppuku.
Nah, you
With the
know,
Master Sword.
I got it covered. It's all good. Oh shit, that's coming up next month. Website renewal. All right, Necro, you got things to promote?
I do a lot of stuff. Twitter, yell at me. I'm usually complaining about some stupid shit.
Usually
Necroxus
Warcraft
9.
lore.
It's usually Warcraft lore because it's fucking. They're being stupid about it. It's either me bitching about Warcraft lore or me fighting
Bitching.
with somebody else
Yeah.
about
Or
Warcraft
you
lore.
bitching about people bitching. That's the only three
Or-
things I see from you.
That's also something that happens. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, follow me at Necroxis9. That's Necroxis, the number 9. I do YouTube. Like, oh shit, I do more YouTube things than I should. My own channel is where I do Warcraft lore that I haven't uploaded a video in like 3 weeks, but there's some coming. I promise. It's at Necroxis Z, Necroxis, with the letter Z at the end. And I do also gameplay stuff whenever I find a game that's interesting. For example, I just finished Walking Dead season 2, episode 1, which is fucking awesome, by the way. So yeah, I do other lore stuff. It's Smoking Gamer on YouTube. That's all you need to know. Go look up that.
And I forgot, we're also on YouTube. 5 Gaming Things. YouTube.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, I've been experimenting, seeing what's up with that. It hasn't really panned out, but
It takes a while.
yeah. But, we'll see. I'm just been uploading shows. I still need to do my fucking Stanley rant and the Gran Turismo review, but future projects planned. Mac, you got anything you want to promote or anything?
Yeah, I got the podcast /4 podcast with me and E. Adams and Riku and Cassie and Styler. We don't ever record, but, the podcast exists and people need to know about it.
Right.
You can reach me at MACKEJN8932 on Twitter.
And the Guild, you doing something with that? Or?
Oh yeah, I am in Phalanx and Nod with Seraphis and Zia and them from the Sundering. And we actually are looking for pretty much everything right now for raiding. We've had some people kind of get bored with the game and quit. So if anybody's looking for a good guild, we're not exactly a raiding guild. We're kind of a casual raiding guild. We raid Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from 8 to midnight Eastern. Or not 8 to midnight, 8 to 11 Eastern. And it's a bunch of great people. We mostly just get on, hang out, drink, and raid. So
Great.
if anybody's interested in that, we need people.
You guys are still Alliance, right?
Yeah, we're Alliance on Dalaran.
Right.
Which is PvE.
Good times. All right. Anything else I'm forgetting? Yes, no?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
All right. That's the end of the show. Yay!
Yay!
So what's going on over at Mac's house?
My wife is watching Star Trek. Trying to set a hotkey to mute my mic.
Right.
Yeah.
Which Star Trek? Like the movies? Like the new
Next
ones?
Generation.
Or... Oh.
Yeah, we've been watching through the Next Generation on Netflix. I've been watching DS9 on my own, and I've been watching Next Generation with her. I've never sat down and watched it chronologically.
You used to watch it on TV a lot, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never sat down and watched a bunch of it in order, so it's been interesting. There are some really bad episodes in that series.
Yeah.
But
They're great to fall asleep to.
yeah.
Not because they're boring. I don't know. For some reason, they help me sleep.
DS9 was my go-to. So I'll watch them on my Kindle in bed. I've got a Kindle Fire, and so we'll go to bed. She'll go to sleep about 11:30, and I'll lay there till 12:30, 1 o'clock watching Star Trek or something.
Cool.
But
You were never a Star Trek fan, were you, Necro?
No, I have never really watched. I don't. Nope. Zero Star Trek.
you Star Wars fan?
I've seen the Star Wars movies. It's not like I'm like, yay, one, and boo the other. I'm like, oh, they both exist.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it seems like most people it's one or the other. Not even like you hate one and love the other, but most people have a preference for one.
Well, I guess mine would be Star Wars because I know at least more about it. But
I was neck deep into Star Wars when I was younger. I have probably $400 in novels laying around.
wow, I heard some of the novels are like a mess, like a really bad mess. I haven't
Some of
never
them are
read any of
terrible,
them, so I don't.
Yeah, some of them are absolutely terrible. Some of them are great, though. It's just hit or miss. But I started reading stuff, I guess, 6th grade for Star Wars. They had some kids' books.
Mm.
I've always been. I'm such a fast reader. I burn through stuff so quickly. That's mostly why I have so many.
I'm just tweeting that we're live.
You're a liar.
So did you hear about Disney telling Star Wars to get their canon together? Otherwise, they're just going to skip. They're probably already going to ignore any of the books for the next movies. They're like, you need to fix your canon.
I was fighting with Cormus about that online, just about what they're going to do. I would like them not to completely ignore everything, but he's probably right that pretty much everything after the movie is going to get thrown out. They've always had... Do it.
I can see them doing that. Maybe throw in like a little thing, a cameo or something or other, for people who read the books.
Well, the thing of it is before it was a tiered canon system, so Lucas was the word of God, and everything he said overwrote everything else in other media. And to a lesser extent, same thing with the Clone Wars show. But now they're gonna, I think, tie it a little more closely together. So at least going forward, there shouldn't be this huge disjoint between the books write one thing for 10 years, and then the guy coming and making the movie just throws everything out the window. Because that's basically what happened. Is Lucas decided, screw all you guys, this is my baby. I don't like what y'all did, and just ignored everything that people had been writing for 20 years, 10 years when he did the prequels.
Wow.
And since then, canon's been stupid. So.
Now, when you say the Clone Wars shows, is that the cartoon one or the animated one?
Both.
Or is there another one that I don't know of?
Well, there's two of them. There was the Cartoon Network one, and then the CGI one.
Yeah. I watched the CGI one, except for last season. I don't know why I never watched the end of it. I should probably do that at some point.
It was better than I expected. The Cartoon Network, the Gendy Tartakovsky one was really good. It was only 30 minutes. It's I will say this: Star Wars canon is more screwed up than Warcraft, at least.
Well, Warcraft wasn't too bad, but now they're like time travel, and now I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, pretty much. Warcraft lore kind of made sense up until now, and I'm kind of like, oh, this is gonna get weird.
Yep. And basically, it's kind of funny because it sounds like something Lucas was like. I can see Lucas doing it. Metzen's just like, I want to do this, so fuck the lore, make it work. I want to do orcs again, so do it.
The only thing that gives me hope was the Thrall novel with time travel was actually pretty good. I forget the name of it.
Which one was that? That was
the more recent one.
Cause he's in like a bunch of them. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what. Twilight of the Aspects. I have them all. I don't know why I'm just not looking. There they are. Twilight of the Aspects.
I only have some of them, but that's one of the ones I picked up, and that one was honestly pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, a lot of the newer ones are at least decent. I mean, Richard Knack books, I stay away. Wolfheart was like his least terrible one.
I still didn't like that one. That one wasn't bad. It was just unfulfilling, I guess. Like, I felt like it just sat and spun in circles.
Well, they finally fixed the terrible dual personality storyline that the comic made that I don't know why they ran with and why they didn't just ignore.
It's weird because, Walt Simonson did the comics, and he's actually, like, the seminal Thor writer. He's done amazing stuff, and for some reason, he just could not get Warcraft. I don't know why.
I thought that comic was terrible. Like, I've read the whole thing, and I was like, this is... Oh, Varian, no.
It was weird. It could have been good, and I don't understand. Like, given the talent that was on it, I don't understand why it was as bad as it was. It's weird to me.
Well, if he was, I don't know the guy, but if what you're saying is true, it could be that Blizzard, they have famously like a huge heavy hand in literally everything in their lore. So it could be them shenanigans.
Yeah, if you look up, I believe it was Walter Simonson at least that started on it. If you look him up, he's really famous for a lot of what he's done. He wrote probably the best Thor comics ever made.
That's weird.
He's incredibly famous in the comics realm. That's why I'm like, when I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he was the one that wrote it, and I saw somebody say something about that, and I'm like, really? It was just weird to me.
I'm just checking the email real quick.
Nobody loves you. They're not going to email you, BGO. You don't got to worry about it.
I have to be more like Jan. I have to be meaner.
Yeah, you got to be angry tonight.
I'm Jan today.
You've got
Instead of a cat story, I can do a dog story because I have dogs.
Yeah, you got to alternate between high as a kite and angry as a bear.
And I can just start screaming at certain parts, just yelling about how everyone's wrong.
I'm sad Jan's not here. Seraphis told me to tell her Nintendo sucks. He wants to hear her scream and yell and cry. My problem with Mega Man is that I was so bad at the game it wasn't fun. I like the music, I like the concept. I'm so bad at it.
That's exactly how I was. My friend was great, and he's like, do you want to play with me? And I'm like, sure. And after I died 3 times to an easy boss, he's like, fuck it. Let me play, you can watch. I was like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I would watch my cousin play, or I'd play with a Game Genie. That's about the only way I could play Mega Man. I used to play Mega Man 3 with a Game Genie all the time. That was, like, the best.
Oh, Game Genie.
That and the
I had
cheat
the
where you could
clunky-ass
jump in.
Sega Game Genie. It was ridiculous.
See, my wife grew up on Sega. That's weird to me.
Yeah, I totally grew up on Sega. I had no Nintendos until N64.
That explains so much. That's why you're into banging dudes, huh? It's the people that grew up on Sega go for dudes. That's why my wife's not gay. That's it. It's an alternative lifestyle.
We've cracked it. We've cracked the code.
That's,
So basically, it's all Sega's fault, is what we're saying here.
a little brutal.
Let me know if my wife's TV watching's bleeding in too bad. I can get her to cut it off.
Me, personally, I can barely hear it. But
Yeah, I just don't want to screw up the whole podcast.
Oh, goody. Soundboard's not working again. Fucking turd.
Ow.
Sorry, loud noises.
You making popcorn?
Now this is normally where we do the cat topic. I don't know. You got cats, Necro?
I have dogs.
You got any dog news or anything?
Yeah. I actually kind of do. I don't know how well it'll go over though, but kind of.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right, so we have 2 dogs, and we just got our second one last year. He's a purebred German Shepherd, and he's just a year old this winter. So usually when I let him out, for some reason, he always comes in from me, but not anyone else in my house. So this morning, I go to get him in the house, and I'm like, Axel, his name's Axel. I was like, come on, Axel. I don't see him. I don't even hear him. So I walk outside, and there's still kind of like, the snow's been melting around here, but there's still big, like, piles. And I walk into the backyard, and I'm like, this is weird. I've never not even heard him before. I walk into the corner where we have a big pile, and I see him, and I don't know. This sounds really unbelievable. He's humping the pile of snow. But there's like, but it's like, after he came in, I was looking at it because I was intrigued. I was like, why? What's with the? Maybe he liked the cold because this was like his. I think he's just getting into like his sexual whatever it's called for animals.
I just can't see that being pleasant. I don't
We
understand.
even have him fit. We even had him fixed. So we were told that wasn't stuff like that's not supposed to happen. But nope.
Yeah.
I don't.
He was humping the shit out of some snow.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That doesn't. The getting fixed thing doesn't always fix that. Like, it's supposed to, but it doesn't always. I've known a couple people have issues with it.
But that was about it. So I was kind of like, I can't, because when you each, like, I guess, thrust, like, would, like, unlodge snow, so how would that be, like, pleasurable? I don't understand. That's my dog news.
What the fuck?
I like Jan's cat news better. It's a lot less disturbing.
Yeah, like, at least their cats are, like, kind of wacky. Yours is just, like, fucked up perverted.
Yours is like need a doggy psychologist or something.
I guess.
It's not even
I don't
just
know.
normal perverted. It's, like, just fucked up perverted.
Nope. And the thing is, he's never done anything like he's never humped anything before ever, and this is the first time I've ever seen him do anything like that. I was like, oh, well, you have fun for a couple more seconds, but we gotta go. I need to go to the store, and I can't leave you outside.
One day he's gonna hump a guy's leg off. You better watch it.
Oh well. Not my problem. He's not technically my dog, so he's my brother's dog. He can handle that.
I mean, has it humped something before?
Exactly, BGO. Fuck.
No, he hasn't. This is the first thing I've ever noticed, and I just don't get it.
Or like it maybe like, I don't know, some female dog on the rag or something cruised by, and then he like went out there and was like, I smell some
our
shit.
other dog is female, but she wasn't out there today. She hasn't been outside. She wasn't outside yet at that point. Because I let him out separately because she's older and he's a puppy, so he like jumps on her, and he's a lot bigger than she is.
Right. That's...
But she wasn't outside yet.
That's what she said.
Well, maybe she peed out there last night or something, and the dog just...
I don't know how, because it was like a decent way up this pile of snow. Like he's big, so she couldn't. I don't think she could have got up that high.
Weird. Fucking dogs.
Alrighty then.
Snow
Yep.
fucking... Possible show title.
You guys really do have like the best show title of all time. Banging Time Travelers is probably my favorite show title of
Right.
any show ever. I have to thank both you guys and Fire Emblem for that one.
It was, the fucking chair was last week's.
I didn't even look at the title of last week's.
Jan was talking about some chair that you just sit in and it fucks you, so... It's like, that's a great show title.
Of course she was. Of course she was.
Gross. You can craft one out of snow and have it fuck you or something. I don't.
Gosh.
That's so weird. Your dog's fucking crazy.
He is. He's really smart, but he's very odd.
He's crazy for fucking, not fucking crazy.
Right. Alright, I'm gonna grab a couple more drinks. So I got fluids over here, and then we'll start. So, be right
I'll
back.
go buy it real quick.
So I'm here, Malone. Hi, everybody. My first stint replacing Jan, I talk about my dog fucking Snow. I feel like we've learned a lot today. And I've really grown as a person because of it. Some people are cat people, some people are dog people, and some people are Sega players who have dogs that fuck Snow.
Who fucked up? What?
Nothing. I was just speaking by myself with the audience.
Oh.
Yeah. He's good like that. I see, I wouldn't be able to do that been left alone with, like, everything. Well, I need to take off, guys.
Right.
Yeah, I had to get up. I had to do the show earlier because I have to get up early tomorrow anyway. So.
Yeah, I gotta go make sure my wife's not gonna kill me.
Right.
I kicked her out of the living room. Well, I kicked her out of the living room so Star Trek wouldn't bleed into the podcast like
Right.
Glee did on /2.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it was a good show. Thank you, both of you,
Yep.
for coming
Anytime,
on.
man.
So,
Yeah.
Thanks.
yeah. All right.
Later.
See you guys later.
See ya.
into the show shit. You can find me on Twitter at TheBigGameOver.
I'm on Twitter as well at Janaele5, Janaelle, and the number 5.
Email the show at 5gamingthings@gmail.com. Is with the number 5.
Go to thegeekhole.net to reply to the poll or discussion topic and find other podcasts.
Be a part of the community. Also find us on Stitcher and give us a thumbs up right now.
I have blogs, beckontomrx.wordpress.com. I also have a Lord podcast at cavernsoflore.podbean.com.
And don't forget to catch our live streams whenever we do the show live at twitch.tv/5gamingthings.
Yay.
Wow. That will do.
Poontang, son! Don't forget about your poontang!